WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. And today I have the Macallan number 4. Yay! So for some reason here in Germany we received this bottle fairly quickly, more than the other countries I've seen online. And I actually bought this from www.whisky.de, whiskey.com, horse, as you know, horse. And I paid an outrageous sum of 168 euros for this bottle. A friend of mine online said, Jason, you could have got it for 50 euros less if you would have waited a week. It's on other sites as well. I went, whoops, I couldn't find it anyplace else, and I just kind of trusted Horst that he would give an acceptable price. 50 euros for a 1 week earlier release is not really fair. I'm sorry. Now, this is the number 4 edition. The number 1 came out 2015, 2 2016, 3 2017, and now 2018, edition number 4. And this is to celebrate also the opening of the Macallan Distillery. To be very honest, I have not had the 3, 2, or 1, so this is something I'm only going to taste all by itself without referring back to the others, unfortunately. The bottle doesn't say very much. This limited edition whiskey embodies the craftsmanship and innovation design found in the new Macallan Distillery. The master distiller has handpicked casks to reflect a modern flavor profile while staying true to the Macallan sherry-seasoned oak cask maturation. 48.4% ABV. Now, the box actually says a lot more. What they did is they actually listed the various barrels they used, the various casks they used here. Unfortunately, they did not say how many casks they used from this, and they did not mention the year, the age. So this is a 186 euro, almost $200 no age statement here from Macallan. So for the foundation, they use first fill Tavasa Hogshead, made from European oak, as well as first fill Tavasa butts and puncheons, first fill European oak. Then for the form, they use Hove y Miguel Martin butts, as well as Diageo Martin Rosando butts, both from European oak, both for first fill. Then they used something for the structure. They used first fill Vaz Llamas, hogshead from American oak, very interesting, more of the vanilla. And then for the capstone, they use second fill refilled hogsheads, as well as second fill refill butts from American and European oak. Now on the back, there's this nice little pie chart. It says here that 42% of the casks used were butts, 40% were hogshead, and 18% were puncheons. So Nick Zavage, the Macallan master distiller, was responsible for choosing the first fill as well as the second fill sherry casks. Now, this is actually, I did a German video already on this, and this is for me almost like an orchestra of flavors and just moments of joy. I really do like this. If I were to just place this in a certain orchestra comparison, I would say that the citrus notes that you do get are more like the flute section. And then you have a little bit of that orange peel, which is like the clarinets. And then you have this deep, dark chocolate wood flavor, which are the bass, the bass notes, as well as maybe the trombones. And then you just have like an oboe, one single tone the whole time for that alcohol, which is lightly pleasant but absolutely not disturbing. I'm not sure if we have the trumpets or the drums that just give that accent. It's a very harmonious type of orchestra. It's a symphony of excellence, and I really do like this. Now the nose, I get plum jam, I get raisins, a nice dark sherry with tapioca, as well as, that was a new one, I haven't had tapioca for a long time, as well as here the dark chocolate notes. A very nice thing. Now, I'm not yet an expert in Scotch whiskey. I'm definitely not an expert with Macallan. I do know my way around bourbon. I know my way around Irish whiskey. I know my way around a lot of continental European whiskeys in France and Germany, and also then up in Denmark and so on, Austria and all these other places. But Scotch is something I'm just waiting until I become an expert in other areas to learn how to enjoy and just have the pleasure of this. So, and very, very nice sherry moment. Over here, you can actually see it. I just had a Glendronach 25-year-old exclusive sherry butt from whiskey.de. Sherry cask number 662 with 59.2%. An excellent, excellent whiskey. And this is basically this turned down. If that was a 10 on our volume scale, this is like a 6 to a 5 with the sherry notes. Those different casks come together. I must admit that the European oak is a little bit stronger than expected, but then it dies down a little bit, it's dulled down, and more of that dark chocolate plum character, raisin. Well, I'm trying to find a word that's not too extravagant. Those notes just come through and just save the day. This is a very, very nice whiskey. Very overpriced at the moment. If I was to taste this blind, I would say, oh, this is an €80 whiskey. Very, very nice, very, very good. And you say, no, it costs double that price. It's like, no. And this is a little bit of my problem that I have, because I felt that I was ripped off. If you can buy it someplace else on the market for 50 to 60 euros less, I think that feeling can come up in your heart. Very, very nice. Now the question is, do I have that typical Macallan note? If you've had a few Macallans, and I have had a few, you do know that that distillery character is very present, and I must admit it is here as well. But that sherry influence is very strong. Those first fill casks from those different bodegas in Spain really come through, and they season that wood extra just for the Macallan. And if you haven't seen yet the opening videos of Macallan, just type in Macallan Distillery opening. You'll get these light shows, and the architects talk about this. Excellent, excellent, unbelievable what they did there. I'm really thinking what I'm going to give this. I'm actually at my B++. It's not an A-. That oak, those bitter tannins from that European oak is just a little bit too strong for me. And that's really, it goes up and then goes down, and then the tannins slowly disappear, and then that fullness of the Macallan character, distillery character, cuts back in and takes over. But that little whoops, and that just kind of does it for me, where I can say, okay, that's a B++. Now, value for money. Imagine I did pay 50 to 60 euros less for this bottle. I'm still going to give it a D+, C- for that price. Yeah, it's a collector's item. It's a limited edition. It's a Macallan. Macallans are expensive, especially now after the distillery came out and reopened. Now, to be very, very honest, I'm not a big fan of the packaging. There's just too much green. And I know if you take a look at the other editions, it's too much yellow, it's too much orange. I forgot what the last one was, but that just kind of overpowers you everywhere you look, is that emerald green moment. And I do think that Macallan does look prettier with the other bottles. I have here, for example, the new 12. This actually looks much better, even though the bottle is the same shape, the same form, everything. But that 12 fine oak is a better label. This looks very tired and old, and as if a art student was still practicing. Ooh. So, WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. This was my presentation. As I said, it's a B++, and also the value for money is more of a C-. Depends on where you can find it. Definitely something you should look for, and especially if you like Macallan, why not? And it would be great to compare 1, 2, and 3, and 4 against each other, and I'm looking forward to my other YouTubers or whiskey tubers, as they're called out there, to see if they're doing the comparisons and which one is better. Thank you for watching. WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of American, with normally videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, unless something's very special and I put it on the weekend. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.